All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. You're listening to the pregame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall joining you live on the campus of Bowling Green State University for tonight's Division IV regional final matchup between the Calvert Senecas and the Antwerp Archers. Once again, this is the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union pregame show. I want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcarre Mexican Restaurant, Phillips Electric, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Lee's Floor Covering, Chris Lee, Financial Advisor with Edward Jones Investments, and Molliette's Farm Market, TJ Willie's Farm. This is the one that is probably going to be the toughest match yet for Calvert on the 2021-2022 season. Well, Tommy, we're just about set for basketball here at the Stroh Center, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't be happier to be on the broadcast once again with you here tonight.
Oh, absolutely, and again, what a venue and what a hallowed ground that we emanate from here tonight at the Stroh Center for this regional basketball. Again, Nate, you and I, we've been no strangers to this venue before, but seemingly this is where all roads come to an end. But tonight, it's a different story for these 26-0 Calvert Senecas, who definitely are looking to get over that hump, get to that next level, and try to get to the Final Four. But they have to go through a 25-1 Antwerp squad to do it, who's making their third regional final appearance in a row. And again, you're talking about two teams trying to get over the hump, trying to get over that mountain. As you know, the mountain doesn't look as big as what it does until you put your hand on it. And for both of these teams tonight, it's going to be a tall mountain to topple for either one of these squads as we get ready for this Division IV regional final.
Well, how did we get here? Well, I'll tell you, the Calvert comes into tonight as the number one seed out of Division IV in this round of 16. As we entered this round of 16, they defeated Ottoville in the last round on Tuesday. We were here for that. 59-45 was the final score. And then Antwerp, in the following game, took care of business against Maria Stein Marion Local by a score of 41-23. Now that is a recurring theme as I look through all these Antwerp scores. You go back through their schedule, Tommy, this is a team, they'll pull away from you at the end of the game, but this is a defensive-minded team. They're tough, they're gritty, and a lot of low-scoring games. That's their MO.
And for this Archers team, again, some experience with it. You're at the helm with Coach Doug Billman, who just eclipsed 200 career coaching victories. We talked earlier at the top of the pregame about they're no strangers to this dance, and man, what a cast that this Antwerp's Archers team has to lead them as they do with Jagger Landers and Luke Krause, two seniors who've just been tremendous this season. The 6'7" Landers, the District 7 Division IV Player of the Year and defending GMC Player of the Year. He's definitely taken his game up a notch during his senior campaign, averaging 20 points a game and 8 rebounds. I mean, this kid's almost averaging a double-double, Nate, and it's going to be one thing for this Calvert Senecas defense to key in on.
And I tell you, that's one thing that I know about Calvert. They might let him get his, but they might just focus on shutting everybody else down. Because to this point, the last two games, I mean, they've had guys on the other team go off for 20 or more points. Colin Nutter, and then this past Tuesday with Owen Miller. And both of these teams, or both times, they were able to outpace the team that they were playing against by double digits. So maybe that's a case of they might let Jagger Landers get his tonight, but just shut everybody else down and focus on shutting down the entire team and maybe just let him get his. So we'll have to see how their strategy plays out here tonight, and we'll see what they have in plan for these Archers tonight. Once again, you're listening to the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union pregame show. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall right here on the call. We've got Greg Kinn manning the cameras. I want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcarre Mexican Restaurant, Phillips Electric, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Lee's Floor Covering, Chris Lee, Financial Advisor with Edward Jones Investments, Molliette's Farm Market, TJ Willie's Fine Foods, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., Kibler Shoes, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21 Bolte and Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, and Fort Ball Pizza Palace. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors for their continued support for Heart of Ohio sports as we follow the Tiffin Calvert Senecas and the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, as well as the Old Fort Stockaders, through the OHSAA playoffs.
You know, what a trip it's been to get here. As once again, thanks for joining us here for this Division IV regional final matchup, live from the Stroh Center here in Bowling Green State University, as the Tiffin Calvert Senecas take on the Antwerp Archers, and we're going to get ready for the national anthem here.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's play some basketball. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State, and we are set for player introductions. Why don't we take it to the court as we're set to introduce both teams here tonight for this Division IV regional final between Tiffin Calvert and the Antwerp Archers. Now this is what it's all about. Player intros right here.
Before we start tonight's regional final, let's meet the participants. Tiffin Calvert has been designated the home team on the scoreboard, with Antwerp being the visitors. We will meet the starters for both teams momentarily, but let's first meet the rest of the team members. First for the visiting Archers from Antwerp High School. Number 2, Parker Moore. Number 11, Carson Willis. Number 13, Ryan Easton. Number 14, Caden Ferris. Number 21, Hunter Stroh. Number 22, Mason Steele. Number 33, Camden Ford. Number 44, Kendrick Robinson. And ladies and gentlemen, here are the remaining team members from Tiffin Calvert High School. Number 3, Nick Palm. Number 5, Ethan Sauer. Number 11, Harrison Schultz. Number 23, Reed Blunt. Number 24, Lee Morgan. Number 30, Colin McCurdy. Number 32, Will Kurtz. Number 33, Caden Adenbacher. And number 42, Jacob Rombach. And ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game first. First for the visiting Archers from Antwerp High School. A 6'1" senior, number 4, Hayden Recker. A 6' senior, number 5, Gage McMichael. A 6'7" senior, number 10, Jagger Handler. A 6'2" senior, number 12, Luke Kress. And a 6'3" sophomore, number 42, Landon Brewer. The head coach of the Archers is Doug Goldman. His assistant coaches are Aaron Taylor, Jason Horton, Jason Landers, and Sam Williams. And ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting five for the Senecas. Tiffin Calvert High School. A 6' senior, number 1, Aaron Stone. A 5'8" senior, number 11, Jackson Zeisler. A 6'3" senior, number 12, Blake Rumsky. A 6'4" senior, number 20, Max Paul. And a 6'2" senior, number 22, Nolan Beaker. The head coach of the Senecas is
All right, and we're back. There was the player introductions. I would have said something during that time, but I didn't want to take away from the players because I'm telling you, that was big time right there, Tommy. Big time here at the Stroh. You couldn't do it any better than that.
Yeah, and it was big time for these Calvert Senecas just a few nights ago after being able to dispatch Ottoville 59-45 to get to the dance. And like you talked about, stop the pregame. Antwerp able to dispatch a tough Marion local squad, and you expect nothing less out here on the floor. Live from the Stroh as we get ready for tip-off.
And the opening tip controlled by Antwerp when we're underway here at the Stroh on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call. We've got Greg Kinn on the cameras. They toss it down low, and it's stolen away by Tiffin Calvert. And the Senecas race down the floor. Over to Sizlove. Now Paul back to Sizlove. Jackson works it down low, and it's stolen away by Antwerp. Jagger Landers with the steal, the senior. District Player of the Year. Turnaround jumper, that's good. Luke Kraus breaks the lid on the basket, and we're underway scoring-wise. 2-0 Antwerp. Sizlove driving to the basket, kicks out for Paul. Right wing three, Max Paul, no good. Rebound grabbed by Caden Recker of the Antwerp Archers.
As far as Sizlove trying to find something at the top of the key, gives Max Paul an open look.
Landers pulls up from three, no good. Rebound grabbed by Paul under the basket. I think Calvert will live with that. If they want to come across the timeline and just jack up threes all day, well, go ahead.
Well, it's going to be tough for these Senecas to get that look inside, especially having to play amongst the trees.
Garrett Spawn now with it.
That was one of the difficulties that this Calvert squad had against Ottoville, was dishing it and trying to get it to the post.
Sizlove works it down low for Beaker. Beaker working on Kraus.
Look at that. And then
double team, now draws it back out for Sizlove for three. No. Rebound grab under the basket by Jagger Landers. That's his second rebound. Kraus brings it into the forecourt. Gives it back. Kick over to the right side for Recker. Thought about a three. Now kicks it over for Brewer. Now he launches from three and knocks it down. Landon Brewer knocks down the three. 5-0 Antwerp to start this one. And the Senecas starting out the way they did the other night against Ottoville. They started out on a 4-0 deficit, but then went on a 10-0 run. Sizlove thought about a three, but thought twice. Gives it back to Spawn.
Definitely dial up the pressure on Garrett Spawn.
Sizlove out to Paul, nearly lost it, gets it back. Max Paul back to Sizlove. They're going to give him plenty of space. They're going to tell him to shoot. Under the basket for Beaker. No, and Beaker with a nice feed from Max Paul. Lays it off the glass and in. And the Senecas are underway scoring-wise. 5:30 here left in the first quarter. 5-2. Antwerp leading Tiffin Calvert. They work it down low for Landers. Beaker working on him. Landers goes up with it. No good. Goes up for the putback. No. And there's going to be a foul under the basket. We'll see what the call is.
They're going to send Landers to the line.
That'll put Jagger Landers at the line. That's foul called on Spawn. That'll be his first.
And that's where that 6-7 post under the glass really pays dividends. We talked about averaging 8 rebounds per game. Shoots about 60% from the floor.
And Landers unable to convert on the first free throw. Keeps it at 5-2. Thanks for those of you tuning in at the beginning of the broadcast for the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union pregame show. Landers knocks down the second free throw, makes it 6-2 Antwerp. 5:15 left here in the first quarter. Max Paul bringing it into the forecourt, lays it up off the glass and puts it in. They gave him a free lane to the basket, and Paul says, I'll take it. 6-4. Antwerp by 2. Landers driving into the basket.
Little floater.
Stop, pop, and knocks it down. Jagger Landers pulls up and knocks down the jumper from about 8 foot out. 8-4, Antwerp. Ronski, step back. He's going to be fouled on his way up for the shot.
That should be a shooting foul.
It definitely is a shooting foul. Gage McMichael called on the foul.
Archers personal foul number 5. Gage McMichael, his first. Team first.
And that'll be the first team foul on the Archers as Wronski knocks down the first free throw. 8-5 your score, 4:43 left here in the first quarter. Blake Wronski toes the line, second free throw off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound grabbed by Landon Brewer of the Archers.
I love how the big dance puts you at each end of the student section.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're going into hostile territory anytime you're trying to make a basket.
McMichael dishes it over. Now it's stolen away by Spawn. Spawn racing the length of the floor. Stops in the paint. Turn around. Put it up. No. Rebound tipped under the basket, and it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Tiffin Calvert. You know, he went up for that shot, Tommy, and I thought he just could have maybe put that one up, but they did a great job under the basket with defense, forcing him into a bad shot situation. And a turnover gives the ball back to the Archers.
Gage McMichael just came up in front of Spawn.
Under the basket for Landers. Beaker with the strip under the basket. Landers goes back up with it, but he's fouled on his way up. And they're going to get the foul.
Coach Otterbacher arguing, how can that? Little juggle under the basket there, Nate.
Looked like a travel, but they let it go. Landers knocks down the first. Jagger Landers now with 4 points. Second free throw is good. Gives him 5 on the night and gives the Archers a 5-point lead, 10-5.
Yeah, even if you can get something going down low.
Paul, his pass goes off the leg of Brewer and out of bounds. So it'll stay with the Senecas. 3:58 left here in the first. Garrett Spawn in the backcourt brings the ball over the timeline into the forecourt, calls out the play to the offense. Spawn hands off for Sauber. Ethan Sauber into the game now for Tiffin Calvert. Now Spawn works it down low for Beaker, draws a double team, splits it. Sauber now with it, over to Wronski. Wronski gives it off to Spawn. Now Sauber on the right wing. Over to Wronski. Blake Wronski. Step back jumper. That's good. Wronski, that was pure. Pulled up in the face of the defender and knocks it down. 10-7. Archers lead by 3.
Those 20-plus points that Wronski quietly came up with.
Stolen away.
In that regional final, that district final matchup.
Blake Wronski. Spin move. Turn around. Gives it out for Sauber. Back to Paul. Now over to Spawn. Work it down low for Beaker. Beaker working on Brewer. Had to go off his foot and out of bounds, and that'll go back to the Archers.
But just like that, Senecas get it back within 3, Nate. 10-7 with 3 minutes to go here in the first stanza of action. Antwerp takes the ball across the timeline here.
Luke Krause now brings it into the forecourt for the Archers. Brewer now works it down low for Landers. Jagger Landers working on Nolan Beaker. Oh, and that one's poked away. Goes off of the leg of Landers and out of bounds. What a play by Nolan Beaker. Way to save it under the basket. Throws it off the leg of Landers, and it stays with the Senecas. Spawn brings it into the forecourt. Down to 2:35 left here in the first quarter. Still 10-7 Antwerp. Spawn over to Wronski. Pulls up from 3. Off the back of the rim, no. Landers grabs the rebound.
A little bit too much on that one from Wronski from three-point land.
A little too amped up.
Look at that.
Under the basket. Defense by Wronski, but Altimus goes up for the shot and draws the foul. So Carson Altimus will go to the line for 2 shots. That'll be the first foul on Wronski.
Team third here in the first quarter.
Altimus knocks down the first, makes it 11-7 Antwerp. Carson Altimus, sophomore. Cans them both. Puts the Archers up by 5, 12-7.
Altimus Prime from the free-throw line.
Spawn now working on Archer defense kicks it out. Right wing three for Palm. Nick Palm knocks down the three. Brings it to within 2. It's 12-10. What a find by Garrett Spawn, and Nick Palm steps up and knocks it down. Landers onto the basket, finds Kraus, and Kraus able to lay it up off the glass and puts it up and in.
Antwerp bucket number 12, Luke Kraus.
That's 4 points now for Kraus.
That's the one thing Antwerp has been able to do, not sustain those little runs that Calvert's able to get on opponents.
Beaker's pass stolen away by Caden Recker. The Archers work it down the floor. Landers thought about a three.
Because this Seneca's defense, they can shut you down.
Puts the ball on the floor, pulls back, step back, three. Oh, wow, what a shot by Landers from the elbow. Working on 3 Calvert defenders, still able to get that shot to go. He's got 7 points now here tonight. The Archers with their largest lead of the game by 6. It's 16-10.
Yeah, Landers, he's just special. Finley commit, playing at that Division II level.
And with a lot of these big guys, you see a 6'7" kid. He's been dominating at the high school level for a while, but Spawn's layup is no good at the basket, and Landers grabs the rebound. But, I say that because he's a big kid. He's been dominating the boards and everything, but he still has length. He has game that extends beyond the paint. So it's gonna translate to the next level for him.
See, Landers kind of setting the screen there a little bit.
Down to 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Archers try to save it for the last possession. 16-10 your score. Antwerp leading. We're down to 10 seconds. Kraus calls out the play. Works it over on the right wing. Altimus into the paint, up with the shot, no good, blows the layup. Ronsky just holds the ball, and that's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Antwerp 16, Tiffin Calvert 10.
Wow, what a first quarter of action, fast-paced.
What an outstanding first quarter of action. Live from the Stroh Center here at Bowling Green State University. Folks, First National Bank of Sycamore is uniquely rooted in our communities, proudly serving their customers since 1919. And knocked it down, a deep three for Blake. Pulls up from the Falcon Beak and knocks it down at the Stroh Center. 16-13.
Like we talked about, Ronsky, he can definitely play that X factor for you.
Landers, handoff, outside.
Comes down with it.
Spawn grabs the rebound, stripped away, fouled under the basket, and we're going to get a foul on Parker Moore.
Antwerp personal foul number 2, Parker Moore is first. Team second.
That's the second team foul on Antwerp. Comes at the 7:15 mark of the second quarter. Spawn working on Moore, brings it into the forecourt. Turn around, give out Paul, now over to Ronsky. Ronsky off the Paul screen. A crossover move, drives to the basket, and he's going to be fouled before he gets to the basket. Foul on the floor, so a non-shooting foul.
Number 12,
Luke Kraus called on the foul. That'll be his first,
Team third.
and the third team foul here at the 7:02 mark of the first half. Down to 7 minutes now. 16-13 Antwerp. Calvert with a chance to either trim it to 1 or tie the game up. And that one goes off of the leg of Spawn and out of bounds. Second time we've seen that happen tonight. First time was with Beaker as he drove to the basket. This time Spawn has it kick off his foot.
Yeah, they're absolutely giving Spawn no room to breathe, no room to look around and find that open look or call out sets. The Archers are just immediately on him.
Kraus to the free throw line, double teamed. That looked like a travel. I thought he drug his foot there, but they didn't call it. There it is, travel. They got Landon Brewer on the travel on the way to the basket as he forgot to put the ball on the floor before he picked his feet up. So 16-13 the score. Calvert takes the inbound. Max Paul
with an open look there, decides not to take it. They're just going to pass it around at the top of the key here.
They want to make sure it's a good shot. Sizlove over to Spawn, pulls up from 3. No, off the front of the rim. Rebound grabbed by Landers. Jagger Landers with the rebound. That's his 5th rebound here tonight.
And Landers just lying in wait.
Landers gives off, 3-point shot, no good. Rebound under the basket by Sizlove. Jackson Sizlove. Smallest guy on the court. Grabbed that rebound between all those trees. Now Ronsky pulls up again. No good off the back of the rim. Rebound grabbed by Moore.
They got to call Sizlove on the reach-in, I believe.
Jackson Sizlove is indeed the culprit. That'll be his first. And the 4th team foul on Tiffin Calvert comes at the 5:45 mark here in the first half. 16-13. We've seen a defensive struggle here so far between these two schools, as that's kind of what we expected to see.
And does this just seem like the biggest 3-point deficit of all time?
Yes.
Senecas just mustering all they can, testing their mettle here tonight just to get baskets to land.
Landers. Now over to Brewer. Brewer works it back down to Landers. Stolen away by Sauber. Ethan Sauber pokes it away. Gives it over to Spawn. Spawn on the right wing. Back to Ronsky. Ronsky pulls up from 3. No good. Rebound tipped under the basket. Grabbed by Brewer. They've had a couple of different opportunities now, Tommy, to tie it up.
A couple chances going to the well a couple times.
Kick out. Left wing 3. No good. Ronsky grabs the rebound. That was Recker on the 3. Spawn brings it into the forecourt. Into the paint. Spin move. Had it stolen away. Poked out of bounds. Last touch by the Archers. 4:44 left here in the second quarter. Still 16-13. We've stayed at this same score for about the last 3 minutes, Tommy.
Yeah, the momentum from that poke carried Garrett Spawn ahead, but nonetheless, Calvert inbound here.
Spawn rolls off the Paul screen. Paul kicks it out for Ronsky. Ronsky, step back from the free throw line. No good. Rebound tipped. Sauber tries to save it, but unable to save it before he goes out of bounds. I tell you what, Ethan Sauber is all heart and determination. Laying it all out there. Trying to save that one from going out of bounds.
He plays with a reckless abandon.
McMichael brings it into the forecourt, gives it off for Jagger Landers. Landers back to Brewer. Landon Brewer pulls it back. Now over to McMichael. And that one poked away. It goes out of bounds. I thought that, it was touched by Tiffin Calvert. So off a Spawn. It'll stay with the Archers. 4:10 left here in the second quarter. Landon Brewer now with it. Working on Max Paul. Brewer. Right wing. Altimus. Gives it over to Landers. Landers working on Beaker. Poked away from behind. Ronsky with the poke away.
And Beaker with the save gets it into the hands of Spawn.
Spawn driving into the basket. Puts it up, no good. A foul.
They would just give no open lane to these Senecas at all.
Non-shooting foul. It'll be on the floor. Foul called on, I think Caden Recker was the foul. Was the culprit. Might be wrong. Timeout called on the floor. We'll keep it right here. 3:47 left here in the first half. I just want to take a moment to give some shout-outs to some of these local sponsors for their contributions here with Heart of Ohio Sports. We picked up a couple new ones for this game, Tommy. First, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc. I stopped in and talked with Katina Steinmetz. I'll tell you, she is one of the most community-minded people that I've ever met. She's always thinking about the schools in the community, trying to find ways that she can give back to the community. And the one thing I love is she's got a great motto going on right now. She says, we create the gear that you create your memories in. And I think it couldn't be said any better than that. Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc. Once again, one of our proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Also, a big shout out to Reno's Pizza and Pasta, home of the Frankie's Original. They are now hiring all positions. Join the fine team at Reno's today. Stop in and see Johnny. And I'll tell you, even if you got a kid, maybe looking for a job, tired of them sitting around playing video games, 14, 15, they got jobs. They got jobs at Reno's. Stop in and once again tell them the fine folks at Heart of Ohio Sports sent you.
Oh, absolutely. I worked for John Reno because he's part of my family ever since I was 14 years old through the high school years. And, again, when you're at Reno's, your family, both there as a customer and as an employee. So, again, if you're looking for a young person out there for some work, go up there and see Johnny.
Great place to work. Nick Palm over to Ronsky. Now Spawn pulls it back and resets the offense from the logo. Just calls out the play. Motioning. Now Beaker at the free throw line. Over to Ronsky. Left wing three. Blake Ronsky knocks down the three, and we are tied at 16 apiece. 3:10 left here in the first half. 16 all. Landers takes the feed. Driving into the paint. Spin move. Poked away under the basket. And a foul.
No, he stepped out.
Oh, they're going to say it was on the baseline.
Yeah, he stepped out.
Oh, no, they're going to say foul on Spawn? Wow.
Personal foul number 1, Garrett Spawn, his second personal.
That'll be second personal foul on Spawn at the 2:58 mark here in the second quarter. So he's going to have to watch it.
Well, you've trimmed away and you've cut the deficit, forcing both squads to reset.
And another foul on Tiffin Calvert as Beaker is going to get called on the off-the-ball foul. And now it's getting a little touchy with the referees. They're saying, hey, we ain't taking this physical stuff. We're gonna take control of this right here. To that I say, that should have been done in the first quarter. That's all.
Easy dip and go.
Because the Calvert defenders don't know how physical they can be. They had set the tone at one point. Now it's like we got to back it down a little bit. It's kind of like an umpire with a strike zone, Referees are the same way in high school basketball. They're going to call a game the way they want to call it, the way they see it. And I think this referee crew's doing an outstanding job here tonight. They work it down low. Beaker now back out for Spawn for three. Garrett Spawn no good on the three. A rebound, grabbed by Landon Brewer. Archers bring it into the forecourt. Brewer gets it back from Krause. Under the basket for Landers. Draws the entire Calvert team on him under the basket. Landers puts it up off the glass and puts it in. You want to talk about splitting a triple team? That's what just happened right there with Jagger Landers.
Well, now you'll see Antwerp start to dial up the pressure down low as they drive to the lane, as they know they'll either get that call or they'll get that shot.
Landers now with 11 points here tonight. 20-16, Antwerp. Ronsky pulls up from three. No good off the front of the rim. Rebound grabbed by Landers. Down to 1:30 to play. Brewer driving. Under the basket for Landers. Poked away. Landers gets it back. Puts it up. Puts it in and draws the foul. And that's going to go on Spawn. It is. That's his third foul. So Garrett Spawn's going to have to check out with these three fouls here in this second quarter. I think they're going to keep him in the game. Oh, no, they called that on size love. Okay, all right, so that's a break for Tiffin Calvert right there.
Well, just like that, Landers himself has won on a 7-0 run against the Senecas to push this one out, 23-16. Heading into about a minute to go here in the first half. 1:17
left to play here in the second quarter. Archers extended their biggest lead of the ball game, 23-16. Senecas had it tied up at 16, but a 7-0 run by, as Tommy said, Jagger Landers. And the Archers are back on top. Ronsky with a nice step back move. Over to Spawn. Spawn drives it. Little floater, unable to get it to go. Grabs his own rebound, goes back up with it, but draws the foul under the basket. That'll go against Gage McMichael. That's the fourth team foul on Antwerp. 52.1 seconds left here in the first half. 23-16. Archers lead by 7. Senecas have possession under their own basket. Spawn looking to inbound. Looking. Gets it in. Sizlove. Palm back to Sizlove. Driving into the paint.
Sizlove makes the move!
Puts it up and in. And they're going to say an offensive foul on Sizlove. Wow. I try not to question calls, but that one was really questionable, Tommy. The guy still had his feet moving. You got to set your feet if that's a charge. I mean, isn't that the same rule at every level? You can't draw a charge if your feet are moving. He wasn't planted.
And Sizlove just kind of bulldozed his way to the basket as the sell job draws the foul.
Down to 30 seconds left here in the first half, and the Archers trying to hold this one for the last possession. They lead by 7. Chance to possibly extend this out to either a 9 or a 10-point lead here before they go into the locker room. Sizlove nearly poked it away. Kraus, now Landers with it. Working on Paul. Landers driving. Baseline. Had to go off the leg of Sizlove and out of bounds. Down to 2.8 left. So it's enough time to get it in and get a quick shot off. Inbound. Off the glass and in.
Oh, there we go.
And that's going to defend the streaking Caden Recker, and he puts it up off the glass and in, and the Archers take a 9-point lead into the locker room, 25-16. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the halftime show brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. Union has been part of the community for 70 years. They're a member-driven financial cooperative and are delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for
and then get some of these Seneca spawn right now. Blake Ronsky putting the on his shot, leading all Seneca. Yeah, bomb. We had that 3-point from earlier.
At halftime, it's going to have to show you by First National Bank of Sycamore. I want to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. I also want to remind our listeners that we are dealing with some internet issues here. This out, but for now, we're giving you the best live from the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We're still live on YouTube and Boxcast, so thanks to all of those for tuning in there. But we cannot get our Facebook stream up and running again because, well, it shut it off on us. Because everybody got on their phones at halftime here and it just killed the internet. So it happens. And we're underway here in the second half. Archers have the possession. Down low. Feed for Brewer. And Landon Brewer takes the pass, lays it up and in off the glass.
Just like that, the Senecas find themselves at an 11-point deficit.
27-16 is your score. Ronsky. Over to Paul, now Spawn with it. Back out to Sizlove. Spawn had it poked away, it goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Archers. Paul over to Spawn. Now Spawn from the logo calls out the play. Ronsky on the left wing. Had it poked away, but Beaker there to scoop it up. Paul, Sizlove. Jackson Sizlove back out to Max Paul. Over to Nolan Beaker. Now Spawn with it. Excellent defense by the Archers here. Sizlove into the paint, shot up, no good. And rebound grabbed by the Archers. I saw a lot less physical play get called a foul in the first half, so maybe they're going to let them play here in the second half, Tommy.
I'll see here, Sizlove works on Landers.
Kick out, 3-shot, that's good. Carson Altimus knocks down the 3. 30-16 is your score. And now up by 14. And a 14-0 run for the Archers. Sizlove over to Spawn. Now over Beaker on the right wing. Back out to Spawn. Garrett Spawn driving. Kick out for Sizlove on the left wing. Now Max Paul. Down low for Spawn. Back to Paul, under the basket, off the glass. No. Wow. Rebound grabbed by Landers. I don't think that was a shot they wanted there, Tommy, but the defense is just forcing them into some bad shots.
We've seen this Archer squad just be able to bury other teams defensively.
And it always starts in the second half. I mean, they've started on a 5-0 run here to start this second half.
Look, now that you got that 14-point cushion, you can kind of start setting the tempo your own.
Brewer from 3. Oh! Landon Brewer knocks down the 3. And the Archers now up by 17. 33-16. It is a 17-0 run. Tiffin Calvert has to get to the basket. They got to get that ball in the basket. Spawn on the right wing. Rolls off the Beaker screen. Over to Sizlove, thought about a 3, works it down low for Beaker. Draws the triple team, puts it up off the glass and puts it in. Beaker able to bully his way up for that shot.
I'm going to say, how often are you going to be able to get that off, though?
Yeah. Still a 15-point deficit for the Senecas. They're going to have to get some turnovers, and they're going to have to get some points quickly here in the second half. 4:45 left to play in the third quarter. Landers now with it. That pass tipped and poked out of bounds. Last touch by Spawn.
And in the game for Antwerp, number 5, Gage McMichael. And then for Calvert, number 5, Ethan Summers.
33-18, 4:28 left here in the third quarter. As Antwerp has just won on a run.
Landers has possession, had it poked away. Bronski grabs it. And maybe they are going to let him play here, Tommy. They let that one go. A lot of contact on that. Bronski pulls up from 3. Contact and no foul. Wow. You could see the contact from here. His hand went backwards.
Oh, and it comes away.
Stolen away. And a poke away as Beaker gets it for the Senecas. Over to Spawn and a foul on the floor. Foul called on number 12, Luke Krause. That's his second. And the first team foul here in the second half comes at the 3:59 mark of the third quarter.
Well, one thing is the Senecas were able to get the ball back here.
Ronski, step back, jumper, no. Rebound grabbed by Landon Brewer.
The Senecas have only had 5 turnovers in this entire contest. 7 rebounds compared to Antwerp's 17 rebounds, 7 turnovers. You see Landers with it at the top of the key, maybe making a move inside on Beaker. Oh, a step behind pass from Landers down low. And Brewer able to finish it off there. 35-18.
Nice find there from Landers. Beaker had it poked away from behind, goes back up with it, puts it up off the glass and puts it in. Nolan Beaker able to finish at the basket. Gives him 6 points here tonight. Conspicuous by his absence, Tommy, Garrett Spawn still is scoreless here tonight. Landers, cross-court pass. McMichael. Now Kraus with it. McMichael out to Kraus. Now right wing three. That's Ultimus. No good. Rebound grab by Landers under the basket. Goes back up with it and puts it in.
And that's such a luxury to have. Just pass it around the top of the key. Shoot it off the wing. If you don't get it, you have Landers sail to the basket for you to put that layup back in.
Spawn, kick out, Sauber, three. That's good! Ethan Sauber knocks down the three, trims it to a 14-point deficit. Tiffin Calvert calls a timeout. 2:04 left to play here in the third quarter. We'll take this time to thank our sponsors. Huge thank you to all of our sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. For those of you tuning in here on YouTube and Boxcast, we thank you for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to MSD Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Curry Mexican Restaurant, Phillips Electric, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Lee's Floor Covering, Chris Lee, Financial Advisor with Edward Jones Investments, Molliette's Farm Market, TJ Willie, and Graphic, Kibler Shoes, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen, Century 21 Bolte and Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Pizza, community-minded sponsors right here.
Before the end of the half, 2:04 remaining. Not an enviable task, but it's definitely doable, Nate, in my opinion. You're starting to find a few ways to get to the basket, get some open shots.
The game for Calvert, number 11, Jackson Sizemore.
And sends it over to Brewer. Brewer gets it poked away.
Palm with the steal. Sauber saves it over to Spawn. Garrett Spawn out to Ronski. Right wing three. Bang! Blake Ronski brings the Senecas to within 11. 6-0 run for Tiffin Calvert. Full court press by the Senecas. McMichael drives, cut off. Kick out for Landers. Jagger Landers at the top of the key.
And if you're Antwerp, don't allow the Senecas to put you on your heels right now.
And a timeout called by Doug Billman as he senses the momentum starting to shift a little bit here. 1:23 left in the third quarter. 37-26.
Well, this is the point too, where if you're Antwerp again, you can't be on your toes. You can't be knocked back off your heels. You just gotta go out there and produce and play your brand of basketball. (37-26). Archers still on top. At one point, this was a 19-point deficit.
Once again, stick around for the postgame show brought to you by Phillips Electric. Stopped in and talked with Tom Phillips and crew. And I'll tell you, the one thing I love about Phillips Electric, it's a family business. It's family owned, it's family operated. You get to see Tom, you get to see his son Greg. You go in there, you feel like you're part of the family. And that's what doing business with some of these people is like, you know? Like, that's why I tell you they're community-minded sponsors for a reason, because they really do. They care about this community. Once again, Phillips Electric, our post-game show sponsor. That one poked away.
Get it back!
And Sizelev saves it from going out of bounds, but he actually stepped on the baseline, so it'll stay with the Archers. 1:06 left here in the third quarter. Kraus looking to inbound. Landers draws the double, drives the baseline, puts it up, off the glass, no good, blows the layup. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, blows the putback. Ronski with the rebound. Spawn, pass stolen by Kraus.
Landers gonna settle in now. Sends one sailing over to Brewer. Brewer has it tipped out.
Archers fans want every foul called here tonight. But I'm actually happy they're letting all these fouls. They're letting these guys play. This is the this is a regional final game here. They don't want it to be decided by foul calls. Should be decided on the floor, as it is being right now.
And look at that.
It goes both ways. Landers thought about a three, puts the ball on the floor.
Makes a move inside.
Had it poked away, gets it back. Hoists up a three.
It falls
misses
short.
Everything. Palm gets it off to Sauber. Sauber puts up the shot, no good, and that's the end of the third quarter. 37-26 is your score. Antwerp takes an 11-point lead into the fourth quarter.
You talk about going out on your shield there at the end as Antwerp trying to control the last possession, trying to get some baskets to go there at the end to extend that lead, keep this at a double-digit deficit. They were able to do that, but man, pugnacious were the Senecas there. Fourth quarter of action, Nate.
This is and a steal. He's doing his part. Garrett Spawn is, I'm telling you, he's the leader of this team. He's finding other ways to affect the game, Tommy. So it's not like he's not having an effect on the floor, but Calvert really needs him to score some points here in this last quarter.
Yeah, and in this game, again, when you have that advantage where you can look up and over the trees, when you're a 6-foot point guard and you got defenses blanketing you.
Sauber pulls up from the free throw line. No. Landers grabs the rebound. But yeah, Tommy, you're right.
I mean, it's
just tough sledding for a guy like him trying to get down low with those trees.
That's
Archer.
what calling out your angles, taking those open looks, trying to find lanes. That's what Garrett Spawn, that's why he's the cerebral assassins. This one's going to be passed.
Beaker called on the foul, his third. The first team foul comes at the 7:28 mark here in the fourth quarter. Inbound for Brewer. Now over to McMichael. That work it around for Kraus. Kraus over to Altimus on the right wing. Back to Kraus. Now they work it over to McMichael. Out to Brewer on the three-point arc. He kicks it out to Kraus. And they're just trying to waste some time here, Tommy. They got that 11-point lead. They're not in any hurry. Landers with the dunk. As the defense caught napping on that one, Tommy. Spawn over to Palm. Nick Palm puts the ball on the floor, gives it off for Wronski. Wronski. Back to Spawn. Spawn working on Kraus. Pulls up from the elbow, knocks it down. Garrett Spawn, that's his first basket of the ball game. Comes at the 6:41 mark here in the fourth quarter. 39-28. Altimus under the basket, puts it up, puts it in.
How do you 41-28
41-28.
open on an island there, even in
Palm pulls up from three. It's a 10-point ball game. Timeout on the floor. 41-31, 6:21 to play.
and each possession becomes all that much more important.
That's absolutely right, Tommy. It comes down to defense and taking care of the ball from here on out.
Yeah, you can't get turned away. Empty baskets will lead to empty lockers with 6:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter in this Division Regional Championship, as Antwerp has done a tremendous job defensively this entire 32-minute run and being able to shut down the Seneca squad was its defense. And for Antwerp to be able to break up those little runs by the Senecas, be able to continue to get baskets, I mean, that really makes up all the difference here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tommy. 6:21 left here in the fourth. Antwerp looking to inbound.
You're still feeling the after effects of that 9-0 run from.
Yeah. There's a 14-0 run out of the locker room.
Yeah.
Landers in the backcourt now brings it into the forecourt. Nearly had it poked away. Slislov is going to get called for the reach-in from behind. That'll be his third, and the second team foul comes at the 6:08 mark here in the fourth quarter. Kraus gets it in. McMichael now with it, crosses the timeline, now into the forecourt. Kraus over to the right wing. McMichael working on Sauber.
Sauber trying to be pesky there.
They got to keep doing that, Tommy. You got to stay with it. Brewer, kick out, right wing for Landers. Now over to the left for Kraus, who pulls it back and resets.
Look at how dangerous that is.
Down low for Landers, who couldn't control it. That should have been a travel. He got away with a walk there.
And help.
It should be a held ball. Oh, wow. They got them with a timeout. They didn't even have possession. He didn't even have possession of the ball. How's he going to get the timeout without it? Wow, okay. Okay. 5:36 left here in the fourth quarter. It's a 10-point ball game. Senecas have trailed by as many as 17. They've trimmed it to a 10-point game now.
Well,
there's plenty of time.
It does keep Landers from going to the line. Here in this timeout, again, you call out your sets. You figure out a way to control the possession. And just here at the high school level where there's no shot clock, take as much time as you need for those possessions. Force Calvert to press the issues, force them in the foul trouble, and allow yourself to dictate the tempo of how this last 5 minutes, 36 seconds is going to play out.
Altuvis over to Kraus. Kraus, Brewer, now back to Kraus. Luke Kraus draws a double team.
And he does a tremendous
job.
Got
away with a walk. McMichael over to Brewer on the right wing. Now back out to McMichael on the left. They work it around. Down to 5:09 left in the ball game. Kraus works it into the paint. That's going to be an offensive foul on Luke Kraus. And how's that? That'll be the second team foul on Antwerp at the 5:06 mark here in the fourth quarter. Tiffin Calvert takes possession with a chance to trim this one to a single-digit deficit. They were down by as many as 17. They've trimmed it to a 10-point deficit. Let's see how much farther they can trim it down. Spawn driving, kick out. Palm thought about a three, puts it on the floor, gives off for Wronski. Wronski, step back, three-point shot. No.
Ball short.
Landers grabs the rebound. Kraus on the right wing settles the offense down. Now out to Brewer, now back to Kraus. Calls for the screen. Poked away. Stolen away. No, Landers gets it back. And Beaker is on the floor. We got a timeout for an injury here as Nolan Beaker, I mean, he took a shot to the head. I think he was kicked in the head.
And Beaker's trying to get a little physical down there, trying to reach in for the steal. May have caught a loose limb there to the noggin.
So as they straighten out Nolan Beaker and possibly his teeth, 4:36 left here in the fourth quarter. 41-31 is your score. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. First, let me give a special shout out to one of our new sponsors today, Chris Lee, financial advisor with Edward Jones Investments. He's located at 2459 West Market Street in the Wolf Creek Shopping Plaza in Tiffin. Reach out to Chris for all your investment and financial planning needs. Once again, Chris Lee, financial advisor with Edward Jones Investments. Thanks to all of our sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports, MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Curry Mexican Restaurant, Phillips Electric, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Lee's Floor Covering, Mollyette's Farm Market, TJ Willie's Fine Foods, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., Kibler Shoes, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen Century 21, Bolte and Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, and Fort Ball Pizza Palace. Landers takes the inbound pass, and the Archers have possession down to 4:30 left in the ball game. Senecas trail by 10. They've got to get the defensive mindset going here as Wronski
comes
going to
from
be called
behind.
for the strip. Blake Wronski called on the foul. That'll be his second personal, and the third team foul against Tiffin Calvert comes at 4:24 mark here in the fourth quarter. Kraus gets it into Landers, who's double teamed. And a poke away, and we're going to get a reach-in foul. That'll be on Blake Ronsky.
You notice as the Senecas start to pile up these reach-in fouls, they just bring Sauber in. Like, you know what? Let's bring an expert in off
That's
this.
right. Jagger Landers on the left wing. He's got 18 points and 12 rebounds. He's stripped and blocked from behind. Ronsky with the block on the 6'7" senior. Right wing three, Max Paul, no good.
Clanks off the
rebound, tipped, grabbed under the basket by Kraus. That's a travel. Wow.
They're going to call that
a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Antwerp. You got Antwerp fans over here wanting to foul, but I don't see where they didn't call the travel under the basket on Kraus. As when he grabbed that ball, he took 3 steps forward before he ever put the ball on the floor. Kraus inbounds to Landers. McMichael now with it. Oh, stolen away by Sizlove. And that's a steal from behind. That was a pointless foul there by Brewer. I mean, I don't know if they were trying to prevent the breakaway there, but they had all the defensive players back. That was kind of a pointless foul there. But the third team foul comes at the 3:45 mark of the fourth quarter.
I think rather than get something in a breakaway, they make the offense reset and have to take time.
Spawn, left wing three, off the rim, no. Sizlove had to go off his leg, and they're going to say off of the Archers and out of bounds.
What?
Senecas catch a break there. That looked like it went off of Tiffin Calvert. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tommy. That looked like it went off Sizlove, but they catch a break. Spawn inbounds to Ronsky. Ronsky might have got away with a walk there.
Yeah.
Pull up from the free throw line. No. Landers grabs the rebound for the Archers.
And Antwerp, they're just incredible under the glass.
Ultimus, shot under the basket is no good. Ronsky went up for the block, but that's not going to be a flagrant because the offensive player faked the shot and then went back up for the shot. The defender was all of his momentum was carried into the offensive player. If you stop and then you go up for a shot and then go back up, that's not a flagrant. You drew that intentional contact. That's what he was trying to do. He wanted that contact. It was a great play by Ultimus, but there's no way that was a flagrant foul. Everybody can sit back down. Ball don't lie. Caden Record checking in for the Archers.
We'll see if there's only half truth there. As he gets ready for his second shot. Gets it going.
I guess some of it. Brewer steals the inbound, unable to finish on the layup.
He gets called for the foul.
Ronsky called on the foul under the basket.
And that's his fourth.
Wow. And I believe, yes, that'll be his fourth personal foul on Blake Ronsky. Max Paul checking in now for Tiffin Calvert. Nick Palm, Ethan Sauber, Jackson Sizlove, and Garrett Spawn round out the 5 on the floor. Sizlove with the steal, but they're going to get the contact. And that's going to put Brewer at the line for a 1-and-1 situation. That puts the Archers in the bonus. And this is about where you start saying you got to come up with some steals and not fouls.
Oh, yeah. Especially if they're going to get those baskets to go.
42-31 your score. 3:14 left here in the ball game. Archers looking to close this one out from the free throw line. Tommy, you want to know the biggest advantage I see right now on that board?
Max Paul and Ronsky down low.
Rebounds.
Yep.
Right now, Archers are leading in rebounds 26-11. Landon Brewer who's got 6 of those rebounds, able to convert on the first. He got them both. Archers now lead by 13, 44-31. Spawn drives it into the paint. Shot no good. Landers over to McMichael. And a reach-in foul. 2:55 left in the ball game, and that'll put McMichael at the line for 2 shots. Folks, don't forget, stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Phillips Electric, where we will name our player of the game, brought to you by MST Sauce Company. And we'll talk about the keys to the game, brought to you by X-Curry Mexican Restaurant, located in the Tiffin Mall. McMichael able to knock down the first. Speaking of X-Correct, I mean, Tommy, I can't say enough good things about Lisette and all the fine folks at X-Correct Mexican Restaurant. I mean, when I asked her if she wanted to do sponsorship, there was no hesitation as McMichael knocks down the second free throw, puts up the Archers by 15. 46-31 is your score. But Lisette just couldn't think of anything to say. She's like, I don't know what to say. Just say we got to-go margaritas and we cater. As Spawn no good on the step-back 3. And the Archers grab the rebound. Brewer down the floor, stolen away by Ronsky. Blake Ronsky's not giving up on this one. Ronsky brings it into the forecourt, gives it off for Spawn. Ronsky pulls up from 3. No, misses everything. When we're talking about X-Correct, folks, couldn't find a better community-minded sponsor than the folks that are doing business with us here tonight, and one of them is X-Correct Mexican Restaurant right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Jagger Landers brings the ball into the forecourt. He's fouled from behind by Max Paul, and that'll put Landers at the free throw line. The Archers tonight, Tommy, from the free throw line, 85%. They're taking care of business. They're doing the little things. They're taking care of business on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively. It's been an impressive showing by the Archers as they look to secure their trip into the Final Four and punch their ticket to Dayton, as that's where the Final Four will be played next weekend. They'll have the 2 o'clock matchup if they're able to close out this victory on Saturday, the 19th. And they'll look to secure their spot in the state championship game the following day. Sauber, 3-point shot on the left wing, no good. Landers grabs the rebound. Down the floor. Kraus.
Landers, 20 points.
Ultimus puts it up off the basket.
20 points, 15 rebounds.
Wow.
Double-double here tonight. And,
just controlling.
The Senecas, they fell in the shadow of a Colossus. And that Colossus's name was Jagger Landers.
And Tommy, it wasn't just Jagger Landers that led the way here. You talk about, they had contributions off the bench from Carson Ultimus. You had key contributions from Landon Brewer. Ultimus just knocks down a free throw.
Brewer's been just effective from the free throw line. He's really
knocked down a couple key 3-pointers.
Drawn some key fouls as well. Again, this continues to bury the Senecas.
Archers now with 3 players in double digits.
And that's what does it.
Paul pulls up from the right wing, no. Rebound tipped under the basket. Last touch by Tiffin Calvert. Once again, make sure you stick around for the postgame show. Brought to you by your friends at Phillips Electric. We'll break down tonight's game. We'll talk about this great season by the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. And we'll wrap things up from the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. And give a special shout out to some of our special mentions here as Boco Host is building our website, which should be ready in time for baseball season, folks, which is coming right around the corner. The next time you see us on a broadcast, you'll see us covering baseball. That's right, Brewer, baseball in Seneca County. Landers chunks the dunk. That one went in and out. I mean, Tommy, that was halfway in the basket. Spawn floater, no good. Landers grabs the rebound.
Well, Landers, he's only probably went scoreless for about a minute. These Senecas, they've been scoreless for a good 6 minutes now.
Inside of a minute to play here in the ball game.
Defensively. As we talked about how hard it is to go undefeated on a season, especially after this magical run that these Senecas have had. After, a lot of these guys have played with each other for over 8 years, from Little League up to the high school level. And we talk about, again, how hard it is to go undefeated. And you know that if you have that one blemish on your record, it's going to be the one that matters.
That's right. Landers knocks down the first, puts the Archers up by 20.
Wow.
It's a 10-0 run to close out the game.
That's what you call taking care of business out on the floor.
That's absolutely right, Tommy. 56.2 seconds left here in the ball game. Jagger Landers toes the line. He's got 21 points, 17 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Give him 22 on the night, and his night is finished.
And with
22 points and 17 rebounds.
And with 2:46 remaining, this was a 9-point ball game.
Wow. Wow.
52-31. What a way to just step on the gas and just cruise your way into the Final Four.
3-point shot, no good.
Then the story of the night, seemingly a lid on the basket for the Senecas.
As they shot 29% from the field tonight.
They get the job done.
25% from beyond the arc and just 50% from the free throw line. Although, Tommy, they really didn't have a whole lot of opportunities from the free throw line. They couldn't make it to the basket. They had no opportunities in the paint.
And every time they did, it was taken away as you saw that rebound deficit. 33-12.
Wow.
"15 seconds here to close this one out. Live from the Stroh as Antwerp zeroing in on that regional championship. And what a trip it's been for the Senecas to make it this far to the Elite Eight.
52-31 is your final score. Maybe.
And Antwerp,
indeed,
will finally get over that hump. They'll finally be able to push and make it to the next step and make it to the dance in the Final Four as the Archers will dispatch the Senecas 52-31 here in the Division IV Regional Championship. And the Antwerp Archers are your regional champions.
That's right. 52-31 is your final score. Tiffin Calvert's season comes to a close here at the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. You're listening to the postgame show brought to you by Phillips Electric. Folks, I want to remind you, First National Bank of Sycamore is uniquely rooted in our communities. Proudly serving their customers since 1919, they have locations in Sycamore, Tiffin, New Riegel, and McCutcheonsville. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And also, I want to remind you about our friends at Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Well, they've been part of the community for 70 years. They're a member-driven financial cooperative, and they're delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry. Thrive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy. All right, Tommy. Once again, we are here for the Phillips Electric postgame show. Folks, there's your keys to the game brought to you by X-Carrot Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. Margaritas. They have catering specials. So if you're having a big break, give the folks extra. Give the folks at send you. And I'm telling you, for me to pick any one struggles, but they were all contributing in different ways here tonight. Even though they might not have been able to find ways on the offensive end to affect the game, they were finding ways on the defensive end and finding little ways to make their effect on the game. So if I had to give it to anybody, I know we picked him for the last game for player of the game, but Blake Ronsky would probably be my pick. He led the way with 12 points here tonight for the Senecas. Who you got?
Jagger Landers.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the bottom line is, you can have your production, you can do what you can, but at the end of the day, it's what's in the win column that matters. And Blake Ronsky did a tremendous job. So if we have to name a Calvert player of the game,
how about we name one from both teams?
Yeah, I mean, because again, Jagger Landers, he was the story of this game. He was the game. He was able to come out here, close it out, 22 points, 17 rebounds, as you talked about. I mean, you can't have much production on the other side against that.
That's right.
I mean, that's just it is what it is, and what a tremendous job the Archers were able to do here tonight on the floor, to where, like we talk about, when you're stumbling, you're trying to find words and trying to find a player of the game for the squad you're covering. I mean, that just tells you how effective this defense was tonight.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Greg, I got to ask you, I know you don't have a microphone, but if I had to ask your opinion, and as far as like who you think the player of the game is, I mean, for both teams, one from each team, who do you got?
I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with facts and the things that you guys just said. My picks are no different than what you guys had here tonight. I watched the same game as you. It was a fantastic showing by both teams. I mean, it was just a heck of a game to watch.
Yeah. So, once again, your players of the game, Jagger Landers for the Archers, and I say Blake Ronsky for Tiffin Calvert, and I also got Jagger Landers as well. But I think really, I think the X factor here tonight, Tommy, and we got to start making these guys. Yeah, there's a player of the game, but I think the X factor here tonight was Landon Brewer for the Archers. You talk about a guy, sophomore on this team, being led by a senior in Jagger Landers, player of the year in the Northwest District. This guy stepped up and the other side of the pillow, knocked down a couple of key threes when Tiffin Calvert felt like they were getting this game close enough to maybe make it a ball game. Landon Brewer was there, it seemed like every single time, to say, nah, we got this. We'll take care of this. So I'd say the X factor to me, Landon Brewer. But your players of the game, once again, brought to you by MST Sauce Company, Jagger Landers of the Antwerp Archers, and Blake Ronsky of the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. Well, Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap up? I want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in on Boxcast and on YouTube. Of course, we lost our Facebook feed in the middle of the game because of everybody on their phones at halftime. But hey, we are proud to bring you high school sports live streaming into your living room, and we're working on improvements to the quality of the production so that by the time football season rolls around, folks, you're not going to find a better quality production in this area than Heart of Ohio Sports.
Yeah, and once again, my hat's off to this Calvert Seneca squad on a tremendous season. I know that's the difference. I think the word great gets thrown around too often. This was a very, 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 very good Seneca squad. As you know, if you're great in this game, you'll have that undefeated season. You'll end it with a championship. A good squad again, 26-0 on the season in total. That one blemish coming at the hands of these Antwerp Archers. I mean, I don't understand how you could be disappointed with that season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, in those instances that if you do get that one loss, that's going to be the one that's going to be the heartbreaker, and that's going to be the one that's the toughest to get over. But, man, what a career, what a season and accomplishments by this senior squad for the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. And, man, it's been fun to watch and cover these young Senecas for many, many years, and look forward to covering them for many more.
That's right. We are, once again, proud to bring you tonight's broadcast here on Heart of Ohio Sports, and proud to announce these sponsors as our community-minded sponsors and partners here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks once again to our post-game show sponsor, Phillips Electric. Go see Tom and all the fine folks at Phillips for all of your appliance needs, and see them first before you go visit any other box stores, folks. Go see Tom at Phillips Electric. Once again, thanks to MST Sauce Company, our player of the game sponsor, First National Bank of Sycamore, our halftime show sponsor, Ex-Carrette Mexican Restaurant, our keys to the game sponsor, You're listening to the Phillips Electric postgame show, and the pregame show tonight was brought to you by your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Also, special thanks to Lee's Floor Covering, Chris Lee, Financial Advisor with Edward Jones Investments, Molliette's Farm Market, TJ Willie's Fine Foods, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., Kibler's Shoes, Reno's Pizza and Pasta, Sarah Risen Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, and Fort Ball Pizza Palace, all proud sponsors here on the pulse of the Buckeye State, heart of Ohio sports. I want to take one moment to just run through this list of seniors on this Calvert squad and give recognition to these guys because there's some big shoes to fill next year. Let's just say that, folks. Number 1, Garrett Spawn, senior. Number 5, Ethan Sauber, senior. Number 11, Jackson Sizelove, senior. Number 12, Blake Ronsky, senior. Number 20, Max Paul, senior. Number 22, Nolan Beaker, senior. And number 23, Reed Warnament, senior. Those are your seniors for Tiffin Calvert. Coming back next year, got a pretty decent squad coming back here, Tommy. Leading the way, Nick Palm Jr., Harrison Schultz, sophomore, Lee Morgan Jr., Colin McCarty Jr., Will Kurtz Jr., Caden Otterbacher, sophomore, and Jacob Rumbach, sophomore. So those students coming back, they've got some pretty big shoes to fill, but I know that 8th grade class that they have coming up into freshman year, that's a pretty special class as well. So keep your eyes on this Tiffin Calvert Seneca squad because they are not finished by any means as far as next year and into the future. So, Tommy, any final thoughts here?
Yeah, this isn't goodbye. It's just see you later, and I'll see you from behind home plate this spring for baseball.
That's right. I cannot wait for high school baseball live right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That'll be the next time you see us on the broadcast. As for right now, for Greg Kinn and Tommy Hall, I'm Nate Mullen signing off from the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Once again, your final score, Antwerp 52, Calvert 31. You've been tuned in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Have a good night, everybody.